What a great honor to be able to introduce for the first time ever anywhere the 45th President of the United States of America, Donald J. Trump.
Did I get that one right?
Oh yeah, this is fine. I'm totally cool with this. Is it hot in here to anybody else? Honey, is it hot in here? Yeah, I forgot. Hell hath frozen over, hasn't it? Well, hello, heathens. How are you guys doing today? Now, as you guys know, Trump was put into office on Friday. I know. Trust me, the world will keep moving, even though it's going to be moving while we're all burning in a fiery hell that is the Earth after climate change has taken us over and turned us into fucking Venus in the next 4 years. Now, I'm just joking. It's not going to happen that quick, but Trump could fuck us up royally. What I'm here to talk to you guys today about is Sean Spicer's first press conference. Now, he said that it's not official because the first one's official on Monday, but I can guarantee you this was officially an announcement from the Trump administration, and it's the first one. So, regardless of whatever the fuck is on Monday, this is the first official press conference meeting and statement from Trump's administration after taking the White House.
Good evening. Thank you guys for coming. I know our first official press briefing is going to be on Monday, but I wanted to give you a few updates on the president's activities.
No, it is not going to be on Monday. It's like right fucking now in about 0 seconds. Actually, in some negative seconds because you already fucking started this shit. I don't care what you guys say. This is the first official press conference of the Trump administration.
But before I get to the news of the day, I think I'd like to discuss a little bit of the coverage of the past 24 hours.
Oh, please do. Let's discuss some of the fucking coverage.
Yesterday, at a time when our nation and the world was watching the peaceful transition of power, and as the president said, the transition and the balance of power from Washington to the citizens of the United States, some members of the media were engaged in deliberately false reporting.
Deliberately false reporting. Okay, what would that mean exactly? My guess is that they would know one bit of information, but then completely reverse it knowingly in order to make it look bad. So they would have to be knowingly doing it instead of, thinking one thing at one point in time and then possibly it then being wrong or something like that. So they had to knowingly be doing it at the time.
For all the talk about the proper use of Twitter, 2 instances yesterday stand out. One was a particularly egregious example in which a reporter falsely tweeted out that the bust of Martin Luther King Jr. had been removed from the Oval Office. After it was pointed out that this was just plain wrong, the reporter casually reported and tweeted out and tried to claim that a Secret Service agent must have just been standing in front of it. This was irresponsible and reckless.
Irresponsible and reckless? The current president that is sitting in the Oval Office said that climate change is a hoax by the fucking Chinese. And you're calling just mistakenly reporting the bust of MLK feng shui. Complaining about the feng shui of the goddamn room is egregious and irresponsible. While the man sitting in the Oval Office told all of his haters to fuck off. I'm sorry, I would like to apologize. He didn't tell people to fuck off. He said, as you can read on the screen, and I will quote, "Every time I speak of the haters and losers, I do so with great love and affection. They cannot help the fact that they were born fucked up." So everybody, which, mind you, is the majority of the nation, everybody that voted against him or considered haters and losers were just born fucked up to him. Thanks, Donald Trump. Way to unite our nation. You should really listen to that and hear "get fucked."
Secondly, photographs of the inaugural proceedings were intentionally framed in a way, in one particular tweet, to minimize the enormous support that had gathered on the National Mall. This was the first time in our nation's history that floor coverings have been used to protect the grass in the mall. That had the effect of highlighting any areas where people were not standing, while in years past, The grass eliminated this visual.
Fucking floor coverings is your answer to the fact that Trump's inauguration has been the lowest attended since Obama first took office? Comparing his inauguration pictures, you can plainly see that it's not just fucking white floor covering. The white floor coverings were only used in the very center of each individual section of where people could stand, like it was just the very center of it. And before Sean Spencer, spins his little lie here, which it is a lie, because he was there, he's spinning it in a way so that it doesn't look so bad. Okay, so CNN, which I know Trump wants to call fake news, not fake news. CNN has this lovely little infographic here that is actually interactive, and that you can compare on the spot the two different photographs of the inauguration taken at the same time on the respective days. So as you can tell, here's Obama's and here's Trump's. You want a little bit better of a comparison? Okay, so that's what it looked like. All right. This is not like, oh, the floor coverings just made it look smaller. It was fucking smaller. You can't spin the bullshit that white fucking things on the ground highlighted the portions that weren't there. You had people that were extending way past the tree line. If you just look at the fucking shot here, you have people spilling over to the barrier. And over here, you don't even have people back here. You want an even better look at this shit? Okay, so for a better picture of exactly how small the numbers were at the inauguration, there's a camera on top of the Washington Monument that took these pictures. It's the same camera from 2009 that is taking it now, or at least the same position. So as you can see here, this is actually the 2009 inauguration of Barack Obama. And this right here is the inauguration of Donald Trump. Now, just to really put this into perspective, this is only part of the picture from Obama's. Okay? So, hold on a second. So, I don't know if you can tell the difference. This is the actual picture in comparison to Obama's inauguration. I mean, holy fuck. No, seriously, like, here in a minute, he's going to say that it was actually bigger. Like, Trump's inauguration had bigger numbers than Obama's, like bigger than any inauguration ever. It was huge. Oh, you mean the liberals were like punching them in the face stop them?
They were throwing rocks and bricks at them.
Were they?
Yeah.
I don't know. That seems like fake news. You cannot say that Trump's inauguration wasn't small. There's no way that you can really say that it's any bigger than it actually is, because if you just look at this picture, they had to crop the Washington Monument picture and make it a smaller resolution from the one in 2009. All they did was capture the people that were actually in frame.
This was also the first time that fencing and magnetometers went as far back on the wall, preventing hundreds of thousands of people from being able to access the mall as quickly as they had in inaugurations past.
Okay, so basically they had barriers set up to make it harder for people to get to the inauguration. It has right here that officials were expecting about 800 to 900,000 people. Why would you make it harder for them to get there? Like, if someone's going to take out Trump, he's not going to take him out from, like, in the middle of a crowd way back in the fucking near the goddamn Washington Monument. Like, I get restricting them up close, but, like, there's no reason to restrict them way far in the fucking back.
Inaccurate numbers involving crowd size were also tweeted. No one had numbers because the National Park Service, which controls the National Mall, does not put any out. By the way, this applies to any attempts to try to count the number of protesters today in the same fashion. We do know a few things.
Okay, but we also have statements from the Metro Police that say that the protesters, or well, the rioters that came later, which I will say, if you rioted after his inauguration and whatnot, you're dumb as fuck too. I'm just going to put that out there. I think you're dumb as fuck for rioting. I think all riots are dumb as fuck to do. Why do you have to go and destroy other people's shit in order to make some kind of statement? Like, that just seems dumb as shit to me. It's like, I'm going to destroy his car over here so that billionaire over there will pay me some fucking attention. Do you understand how dumb as fuck that logic is? Just think about it for a minute.
Thanks. So let's go through the facts. We know that from the platform where the president was sworn in to 4th Street holds about 250,000 people. From 4th Street to the media tent is about another 220,000. And from the media tent to the Washington Monument, another 250,000 people.
So the fuck what? As we fucking see in the picture right here, they were lucky to make it to the goddamn media tent. And that's not even filling up they were less than a quarter filled up on each individual section. This isn't like, oh, they were full up so they kept moving back. No, it wasn't. Like, look, Obama's inauguration had that problem. It had so much of an overflow issue that people were under the trees. They overflowed from the center of the aisle into the fucking trees and even extending past almost into the streets. But it was bigger. Maybe under a microscope.
All of this space was full when the president took the oath of office. We know that 420,000 people used the D.C. Metro public transit yesterday.
Nope, that's a lie. Well, okay, it's not a lie, actually. I'm sure 400,000 pass swipes, whatever, in the metro area, for the metro line, actually did get swiped throughout the entire course of the day. By 11 a.m., only about, 193,000 swipes had occurred, and Obama had 513,000 metro swipes, and then that was his first one, and then his second inauguration, he had 317,000, both of which are way more than 193,000. There's no way that the difference could have been made up by people fucking walking to it. Not to mention the fact the photo evidence that we have of people just not being there.
Which actually compares to 317,000 that used it for President Obama's last inaugural.
Okay, true. That was his second inaugural. But, if I put out this video today and then another video tomorrow on the exact same subject, I'm not going to get as many views. It was also 317 by 11 a.m. Not the entire day like your $400,000 figure is. Your actual figure to compare to Obama's is 193.
This was the largest audience to ever witness an inauguration, period, both in person and around the globe. Even the New York Times printed a photograph showing that a misrepresentation of the crowd in the original tweet.
So let me get this straight. Every single news media outlet in existence that had a camera at the inaugural was telling a lie and pushing fake news for what the fuck reason? Because they didn't frame it so that it looked a lot bigger to you for other people, so that it looked like more people supported him, even though he has the worst approval rate going into office. You're telling me that you guys have the truth, all the news media is lying. Really? Sound fascist much? I said it. Sounds fascist. I'm predicting more fascism in this pile of shit video.
In their paper, which showed the full extent of the support, depth, and crowd and intensity that existed.
I love to see you struggle. It's funny. It's like a comedy show that's going down in flames and nobody's laughing at you except for me. I'm in the crowd laughing at you fail because I'm a dick like that.
These attempts to lessen the enthusiasm of the inauguration are shameful and wrong.
You know what's shameful and wrong? Donald Trump's tweets.
The president was also at the Central, as you know, the president was at the Central Intelligence Agency today and greeted by a raucous overflow crowd of some 400 plus CIA employees.
Holy fuck, 400 CIA employees? It's real funny considering that the CIA actually employs like 21,000. So you had over 400 people to greet him at the CIA. And there's 21,000 people that work at the CIA. Are you trying to use what people think are big numbers in order to make it seem like a bigger fucking deal? Because that's what it really seems like. You know what that's called? Propaganda.
There were over 1,000 requests to attend, prompting the president to note that he'll have to come back to greet the rest.
There were 1,000. 1,000 out of 21,000 people. See, 1 divided by 21 is... Oh, fuck. That is 4% of the CIA. 4% of the CIA was like, yeah, sure, I want to meet our new president. The rest of the CIA was like, fuck him. I'm not going to go meet him.
The employees were ecstatic that he's the new commander-in-chief, and he delivered them in a powerful an important message.
Oh, he did he? Like, can we please cut to that message real quick? Just like a small section of it.
We did a thing yesterday, the speech. Did everybody like the speech? You had to like it. So I've been giving good reviews, but we had a massive field of people. You saw that. Packed. I get up this morning, I turn on one of the networks, and they show an empty field. I said, wait a minute. I made a speech. I looked out. The field it looked like 1.5 million people.
Honey, he said 1.5 million. Hold on. So let's get it in perspective again. So if that is 1.5 million for Trump's, then it must be goddamn 5 billion people for fucking Obama in 2009. Holy shit. Did you know we had like 5 billion people in the United States? Okay. I must be behind on the times because it seems like, China's a lot bigger than we are and they have near 1 billion. Like, I think they're over 1 billion. Right now, China has 1.357 billion people in it. So we have about 5 times more people living in the United States than in fucking China.
They showed a field where there were practically nobody standing there.
Because there was nobody standing there.
And they said Donald Trump did not draw well. I said, it was almost raining. The rain should have scared him away, but God looked down and he said, we're not going to let it rain on your speech.
Wait. I'm fairly certain that Billy Graham's son, Franklin Graham, said that rain is a good sign. Why the fuck are you saying that God looked out and stopped the rain? That seems totally against what Franklin Graham said up there.
Mr. President, in the Bible, rain is a sign of God's blessing.
So you mean to tell me God first was like, yeah, I'll bless them. Nope, I take it back.
He told them he has their back, and they were grateful for that. They gave him a 5-minute standing ovation at the end in a display of their patriotism and their enthusiasm for his presidency.
So you have to applaud Donald Trump in order to be a patriot. Is that what I'm hearing? Like, you've got to just praise Donald Trump and get down on your knees and suck that Trump dick in order to be a patriot. Seriously, Spicer, go fuck yourself.
I'd also note that it's a shame that the CIA didn't have a CIA director to be with him today when he visited, because the Democrats have chosen, Senate Democrats are stalling the nomination of Mike Pompeo and playing politics with national security. That's what you guys should be writing and covering. That this, instead of sowing division about tweets and false narratives, the president is committed to unifying our country, and that was the focus of his inaugural address.
Okay, so let's unpack that for a quick minute. First off, Spicer tells the media what they should be reporting. That they should not be focusing on other things. That they should not be focusing on whatever the Time reporter said on his Twitter. They shouldn't be focusing on what they want to focus on. They should be focusing on sucking Donald Trump's dick. You're trying to tell me that I need to trust the government while the government is telling me or telling the media what they should be reporting. That's textbook fascism. This is like 1984 up in this bitch. And I know I, for one, am not going to sit here and stand for it. I mean, I'm not going to trust anything that comes out of the White House. You're not starting off very well. Next, he said that Donald Trump wants to unify the nation. He wants to unify us. But yet, this is the first speaker he has after his own. Not to mention the fact that in his inauguration speech, he said that we are blessed by God and that God will protect us, which, by the way, is dumb as fuck. I don't even know what that means anymore. Like, what does it mean that God is going to protect us? Soldiers still die. People still die for no reason. Bad shit still happens everywhere. Where is this protection? What is this protection? Where's the proof of this protection? If we have protection, why do we send men and women overseas to fight for our freedoms and protect us? Like, why? If we have God's all-powerful protection and omniscience as to what is exactly going to happen, why the fuck do we send people out to protect us? Why don't we just let everybody through the airport without frisking them? Because guess what? Fucking God is protecting us. Honey, tomorrow morning or Monday morning when I drive to work, I'm gonna let Jesus take the wheel. Because Jesus is going to protect us, and he's going to drive me to work. I'm just going to lay back and sleep because God's protecting us, and Jesus takes the wheel. But Jesus! Oh, come on. Oh, also, this is a Franklin Graham speech. I'm just going to let it play out because it pretty much just fucking speaks for itself.
Mr. President, in the Bible, rain is a sign of God's blessing. And it started to rain, Mr. President, when you came to the platform. And it's my prayer that God will bless you, your family, your administration, and may He bless America, that we may live peaceful and quiet lives in all godliness and holiness. This is good, and it pleases God, our Savior, who wants all people to be saved and come to a knowledge of the truth. For there is one God and one mediator between God and mankind, the man Christ Jesus, who gave himself as a ransom for all people. Now to the King eternal, immortal, invisible, the only God, be honor and glory forever and ever. In Jesus' name, amen.
That's the way that Donald Trump wants to unite everybody, is under one God, using Jesus Christ. Really? You do realize that we have a multitude of different religions in this country, not to mention non-believers themselves. You're going to sit there and tell me that you're wanting to unite us while saying we can be united as long as you're all Christian. That's what I took from that. That's how I feel watching that. You want to call me a libtard pussy, go right ahead.
This kind of dishonesty in the media, the challenging that bringing about our nation together is making it more difficult. There's been a lot of talk in the media about the responsibility to hold Donald Trump accountable. And I'm here to tell you that it goes two ways. We're going to hold the press accountable as well. The American people deserve better, and as long as he serves as the messenger for this incredible movement, he will take his message directly to the American people, where his focus will always be.
Okay, and that's fine. You should hold the media accountable. But guess what? You don't have to get on camera and sit there and chastise the media, tell the American public that the media is always lying, that the media is fake news. Like, you don't have to say all of that. All you have to say is quite literally this. This is all you have to do. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The MLK bust is still in the Oval Office, I assure you. We have not had the inauguration numbers back yet, but we were very happy with the turnout. Also, Trump did this, that, and the other. Now may I take your questions? All you need is facts. When you're telling the truth, all you need is facts.
I did answer your question.
No, you did not. You did not answer the question of why the president asked the White House press secretary to come out in front of the podium for the first time and utter a falsehood. Why did he do that? It undermines the credibility of the entire White House press office on day one.
Don't be so overly dramatic about it, Chuck. You're saying it's a falsehood, and they're giving Sean Spicer, our press secretary, gave alternative facts to that. But the point remains.
Wait a minute. Alternative facts? Alternative facts, 4 of the 5 facts he uttered. The one thing he got right was Zeke Miller. 4 of the 5 facts he uttered were just not true. Look, alternative facts are not facts. They're falsehoods.
You don't need all of this extra shit out there where you're being all like, the media's lying to you. The media's doing false reporting. Media, you need to report on these things and not on these things. That's extra shit. Not to mention the fact that you're in the first press conference from the Trump administration, and you brought up tweets because Donald Trump was triggered by tweets and the truth, apparently.
And with that, a few other updates from the day. The president had a constructive conversation with Prime Minister.
So let me get this straight. The tweets and all that other shit, all the fascism, was more important to get out than the actual meat of what you need to say in this conference right here. Shit that could have waited until Monday. But no, you just had to address the American people on how much the media lies, on how much truth you guys are telling, and you've just got to further woe that divide in the American people.
Thank you guys for being here tonight. I will see you on Monday.
No more questions. No more questions. Don't have time for questions. I made you fucks wait an hour and a half or so. No more questions. Bye. Get fucked. Media, I'm not taking your questions because you're all just fake news. Goodbye. Fuck you. Don't even come back on Monday because I'm not going to tell you shit because all you're going to do is lie about it or tell the truth. However you want to spin it.
Alternative facts to that.
That's what's going to happen. All in all, people, I'm not all that upset over Trump's inauguration. I mean, would I want a different candidate in office? Of course. I didn't vote for Trump. So did like the majority of America didn't vote for Trump. So that's quite possibly the reason why there wasn't a lot of people there, because not a lot of people gave a fuck about Trump. I appreciate all you guys joining me. I hope that you will leave a like down below if you did indeed like this video. If you didn't like it, express yourself in the comments down below. I would love to hear what you think. If you disagreed with anything that I said on this particular video, please comment down below, and I will do my best to respond. Don't forget, we have the CrowdRise campaign down below as well. Please help us raise money for Engineers Without Borders. And finally, I hope that all of you guys do what I do on this channel, on the page, everywhere, is stand up and use your voice, because we're going to need it for the next 4 years at least. I'll see you guys later.